Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to welcome you to this session. This is the introductory video or lecture for the paper performance management within ACCA qualification curriculum. My name is Binuyo Adewumi, the course leader for the paper at Ivy League Associates. I will be talking you through the specifics of the paper in terms of the syllabus contents, how to approach the paper, the peculiarities of the paper, and what you need to do to achieve a brilliant performance on this paper. Let's start with where this paper sits within the ACCA curriculum. So we know that ACCA curriculum is classified or has 3 stages. We have the applied knowledge, we have the applied skill, and we have the strategic professional. Performance management is within the applied skill paper and level, and it's one of those 6 papers that you have there. The other papers are corporate and business law, taxation, financial reporting, financial management, and audit and assurance. Now, performance management as a paper has a direct relationship with the paper in the applied knowledge level, and also a direct relationship with another paper at the strategic professional level. Direct with management accounting in the applied skill, applied knowledge level, and a direct relationship with advanced performance management in the strategic professional. We know that advanced performance management is an optional paper. So anyone who intends to, meaning that anyone who intends to take that paper as one of his optional papers, like I did, will have to take performance management very seriously. So from here, we can see that performance management is a building block for advanced performance management, whereas itself has a building block, which is management accounting. Before I speak to the direct relationship between performance management and the management accounting, let's also understand that performance management has what we call a tangential relationship with strategic business leader. So because there are some vital issues, vital discussions that you are going to have in strategic business leader, which is another paper in the strategic professional level. This time around, it's a compulsory paper that having a very good understanding of performance management as a paper would help you. Now, as I was saying that already I've told you that performance management is the building block for advanced performance management. I must tell you that itself, it has a building block, that is management accounting is the building block for performance management. So a whole lot of things that you've learned or that were assumed to have been learned in management accounting would play a significant role in passing this paper. So there are some sections in management accounting that wholesale, directly like that, they fit into performance management. We just build on, we just lay some extra layer of knowledge on them. So the whole of budgeting, the whole of standard costing, the whole of performance measurement and control. Also, we have several costing techniques that we start performance management with, like ABC, activity-based costing, like life cycle costing, like target costing. These are costing techniques that you would have been introduced to in management accounting without the computational element, but you would have been introduced into the basic principles behind these costing techniques. So that tells you that without much analysis, management accounting is fundamental, is core to performance management. And so if you are exempted from this particular paper, I mean, if you're exempted from management accounting, you will do well by having a look at the cost structure for management accounting, look at those topics that I've mentioned specifically, variance analysis, that is standard costing, budgeting, performance measurement and control, target costing, activity-based costing, life cycle costing, and recently, linear regression too has been added, because from this September sitting, performance management syllabus now includes linear regression, which is a topic that has also been introduced at management accounting level. So it tells us that no matter what the arguments, no matter how we are building the arguments, whether from the back or from the front, management accounting is relevant, is core, is important to success. Good knowledge of those underpinning knowledge in management accounting is fundamental to success in performance management. And for anyone at the end of this qualification who wants to build specialty in performance management, in management accounting, and would like to take an optional paper called Advanced Performance Management, will need to do very well from management accounting to performance management and then to advanced performance management. So that's where the paper sits within ACCA qualification journey. So let's come to the content of the syllabus. So currently we have 5 technical sections, and we have another section now that is not technical in terms of knowledge, but highly fundamental, because it's touching on the platform you are going to write the exam and essential skills, life skills that you are going to, that will be demanded from you as a management accountant. That's employability and technology skills. So you're going to write your exam on ACCA CB platform. So that section is relevant there. But in terms of what will be taught in the class, in terms of technical input, there are 5 sections: information technology systems and systems organizational performance. That section, a quite important section. We know how technology has revolutionized the way we perform, the way we do our work as management accountants. So you need to understand the information systems, the technologies that can help improve an organization's performance. Then we come to specialist cost and management accounting techniques. So where we look at 5 specialist costing techniques, activity-based costing that builds on absorption costing from management accounting. Absorption costing is a core topic in management accounting. So activity-based costing builds on that. Then we have throughput accounting. This is the first time you'll be hearing that in your qualification journey. We have target costing, we have life cycle costing, and then we have environmental accounting. Those are the 5 costing or management accounting techniques that we're referring to as making up that particular section. Then we have decision-making techniques. That's a big section in the syllabus, on arguably the biggest section of the syllabus, where a student will be taught different techniques that organizations can apply in making decisions. when there are limiting factors, when there are no limiting factors, considering so many variables and assumptions as well. So we have limiting factor analysis. So we look at how organizations can have an optimal production plan despite limitation in resources, whether it's a singular limitation or multiple limitation. Then we have short-term decision, very popular topic that is anchored on solid understanding of relevant costing. We have cost volume profit analysis, popularly known as a break-even analysis. We have dealing with risk and uncertainty in decision making. We know that nobody knows the future, but we have to plan for the future. So that means that when we are planning for the future, there's an element of taking risk, there's an element of uncertainty. So how do we incorporate that into our decision making? And then pricing decisions. So how organizations come up with their prices. You know, pricing is an important decision in achieving profitability. So those are the things that we have in decision-making techniques. And you can see that my face is glowing. Quite interesting. I love that particular area of the syllabus. And then in budgeting and control, so we look at, we'll take it from where everything you've learned in management accounting, talking about the basics of budgeting, the objectives of budgeting, planning, responsibility allocation, integration, motivation, and evaluation. Then we look at various alternatives in budgeting, incremental budgeting, zero-based budgeting, activity-based budgeting, and the rolling budget or continuous budget, without leaving out your knowledge of flex budgeting, fixed budget, and the flexible budget. And from there, we now build up to quantitative techniques in budgeting, like very popular high and low technique, then learning curve theory, then what do we call it? We have probabilistic budgeting, which essentially is the use of expected value. And then we'll now move on to section E of the syllabus, which is performance measurement and control. That's where you deal with how organizations measure their performance, whether they are profits, whether they are private sector organizations, that is organizations whose ambition or overriding objective is to maximize profit, or organizations that are in the public sector who don't have that overriding, who don't have such overriding objective. And we also now look at divisional performance measurements, that is looking at measuring performance in organizations that have embraced the divisional structure, which necessarily means decentralization of authority. And the key topic there is transfer pricing. So in terms of where the paper sits within ACCA qualification journey, in terms of what's the detailed content of the syllabus, that's it. Then we can now look at what are those skills that you would come up with, having taken and successfully gone through performance management course. I do tell people, and I still retain that that opinion, that performance management is a business paper. So the skills that you will need to pass performance management exam are those essential business skills. So skills for planning, for deciding objective of organizations, strategies, making decisions, evaluating performance, and controlling performance. Those are the skills that you are going to come up with from a performance management class. And as I've said, it's essentially builds on what you've done in management accounting, and also leads you to what you're going to do at more strategic level in advanced performance management class. Then, how do you tackle the exam? So first and foremost, let's look at the structure of the exam. The exam has three important sections. So you have section A, We have 15 objective test questions, each of them worth 2 marks each. So that means that 15 objective test questions multiplied by 2, that's 30 marks. And that will cover all areas of the syllabus from information system and technology for organizational performance up to performance measurement and control. And then we have section B, where we are going to have 3 cases, objective test cases. So you're going to have a short case, and then you're going to have 5 objective questions following each of the cases. So there will be 3 cases, and each of them will have 5 objective questions. So meaning that there will be 15 objective questions from there too, and each of them for 2 marks. So we have another 30 marks. So that means that essentially you have 30 objective questions, and each of them will give you 2 marks. So that means that 60 marks. So that speaks to the importance of objective question practice for this exam. I'm going to speak about that later in this introduction video. Now, what are the things that you need to do with these objective questions? So the first and foremost is that you have to ensure that you have a wide coverage of the syllabus, total coverage of the syllabus. Then read the question and the scenario carefully. A question you've not understood what is asking for, you would find it difficult to answer correctly. And specifically, where the question is asking you for a particular number of decimal places, please adhere to that and ensure that you answer all questions. Those are the skills that you will need for doing well in the objective questions. You need to cover the entire gamut of the syllabus, the 5 technical areas, and you have to ensure that you read the scenario very well in the exam, apply your knowledge to the scenario. Then we have section C side of the syllabus, that's of the exam rather, that's the constructed response questions that you're going to answer on a combination of your Word document and then your spreadsheets on ACCA CB platform. So you're going to have 2 questions there, each of them for 20 marks. And those 2 marks can be selected from just 4 areas of the syllabus: decision-making techniques, budgeting and control, performance measurement and control. And the examiner has also, why I've said 4 is that the examiner also said that this question might include requirements that are related to the information system area of the syllabus. That means that it can include issues in section A. So that means that we have 4 areas that could potentially feature in our section C of the exam, meaning that the only area that is left out of section C will be the specialist costing and management accounting techniques. So it's very important that to do well in that area, you do the following. Number 1, you are strict in allocating time to each question. So that area of the syllabus, that area of the exam, it has been advised that you should have 36 minutes for each of the questions. Also, read the requirement first. It's very, very important. Read the requirement first. Then approach the numerical questions logically. So we're going to show this in the class. There is an order, a logical order in which you approach your numerical questions. Show all workings. Don't just simply plug the result of the calculations. And have a structure for your discursive questions. So have a structure for the narrative answers. And if you're going to have a structure, that means that you must have an answer plan. If you must have an answer plan, it must be that you must have read the requirement very well. You know what the requirement is asking you for, and you plan your answer. Remember, within that 36 minutes is included time for planning your answer. So you're not just to see the requirement, read the scenario, and just start writing. You need to plan. And part of planning the answer will be using headings, clear paragraph, simple sentences. Be very direct, simple sentences. Don't use too long sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences that could obscure the message you are trying to pass across to the examiner. So that's very, very important. And make sure you attempt all requirements. So before I leave this area, I need to talk to something here. You see, I've mentioned numerical, I've mentioned narrative. It means that your exam will be a balance of numerical questions and narrative questions, which I popularly call discursive questions. So many people come to PM class with a wrong perspective that this particular exam is all about calculation. It is wrong perspective. We've not had in recent time, and we're not going to have in any time soon, any PM question paper that we even be 60% computation or computational. So the examiner always have a balance of computation and discussion, meaning that you can't come to this paper and think that you can compute your way to success. You must compute your way to success as well as discuss your way to success. So, and discussion has been discovered to be the weakest area for many students. So when you come to PM class, you will ensure that you pay attention to the concepts. When our teachers, when they bring up discursive questions in the exam, in the classroom, you see the way and manner, framework they use to approach it. All these things would help you in your practice, because after you've seen the framework that the tutor has used in the classroom, then you need to now adapt that to your question practice. And by that, you'll be able to overcome your weakness in that area. So in essence, you want to achieve success. We want you to achieve success. That's one of the reasons for this introduction video. What are the things you have to do? Number one, you have to study the whole syllabus. No cherry picking. Nothing like I'm not going to study this. You study the whole of the syllabus. You ensure you understand the methods, not just focusing on the calculation. I've just said that. Practice exam style and standard questions. You are going to find exam standard questions only in the approved content providers, BPP question kit or Kaplan question kits. Develop your skills in answering constructed response questions. Very, very important. I've spoken about that. So you must practice. You must start practicing from the first day. Take your assignment seriously. And because we're going to have a lot of assignments and our tutors are ready, willing to provide feedback on those assignments. Then at the end of the course, attempt at least 2 full exams under exam conditions. So we're going to have progress tests and we're going to have mock within the course. So make sure you avail yourself opportunity of getting necessary feedback and make sure you do them under exam condition. And once you do all of this, you can be sure that you are going to achieve success. So remember key things there. PM is not a computational paper. It's a combination of computation and discussion. So we need to understand that. And you need to practice and practice and practice and practice. Remember, this is a business paper. So you need to practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. Practicing can never be overemphasized. So these are key exam support resources. All of them are available free of charge, except one. So there's PM technical article, approaching PM constructed response questions. All these things are on accglobal.com on the dedicated area for PM, examining team guidance, past question and answer. That's where you have to purchase an approved content provider, the kits, the question kit, the practice kit. That's where you can get a lot of objective questions. And you could see the importance of objective questions for this exam. 60% of the marks here will be coming from objective questions. Then we have reading the mind of a PM marker. So how do markers award the marks in this exam? Then ACCA practice platform. You have to start using that platform right from the first day. And then examiners approach and report. Once you do all of this, we are very sure that with our support, because at Ivy League Associate, we're going to provide you with all the support that you need. Our tutors are willing, ready to support you, provide guidance, provide support at every stage of your course towards ensuring that you are successful in this exam. So thank you very much. See you in class and enjoy your stay at Ivy League. Thank you very much. Bye-bye for now.